policing was in my blood. I was born at a police station at Galargambone. My father was in the police, and I had relatives in the police force, an uncle who was a superintendent, and also my great-grandfather was the a sub-inspector who captured Midnight the Bushranger. So I had a lot of dealings with the police, and I knew the police, and I guess it was a great influence on me in joining the police force. Over my career I've really seen the good and bad in people, and I've met a lot of fine people in the community, a lot of people who were very supportive of the police, and that they were fine and good citizens. I've seen the other side of it too, where I've had to deal with people that weren't of good repute. So I think it's a good lesson to me about society, having to deal with these type of people, and you had to have the character to be able to deal with bad people one day and the next minute dealing with the good people. So you had to be able to present yourself to be able to deal with those people. Look, I joined the police force as a cadet, and then I went through, and my first station was at Parramatta. And I guess over the years, I've got that many memories in the police force that I start to forget some of them. But the major ones are I worked through all the Vietnam demonstrations. I was there the day that the LBJ came to the country, and I was at a demonstration on that particular day, and when the Premier allegedly used some words, and I've been through to the cricket ground where the apartheid came out here in South Africa. I've been down to Canberra. I did all of those, and then I went to 21 Division, where 21 Division was a flying squad that was all over the state, and I saw many different incidents and many arrests at 21 Division. My father was at 21 Division for 20 years, and when I went there, he was there, and I actually did work with him on a few occasions. Now I had to work, and he had to work professionally. And as far as I'm concerned, it was in a professional way, and he treated me in a professional way. I didn't get any special treatment. I didn't have any problems with that. 21 Division was a very busy place. On 21-1, which was a plainclothes truck that worked the city, there's 4. It was a training ground for detectives and for plainclothes police, and we would go out on 21-1, and we would arrest between 20 and 30 people a night, and they'd be charged, and court appearances and so forth and so on. And I gained a lot of experience at that place, and I think it stood with me through the police force. And I enjoyed a lot of it. I really haven't been at a place I didn't like. I found every place I went to had a different challenge, and I enjoyed being there. It was a pleasure to come to work, and on many occasions. Of course, there's other occasions that there wasn't when things had happened. But I work with, and I found the people I work with were loyal and competent people, and they all that I've worked with tried hard and did the job, and they turned up to do the job. And I think that that keeps on spurring you on with the type of people you're working with too. Well, I don't know whether I should admit that. I'm starting to feel a bit old when you say that. but yes, I did. I was there as a cadet in the 100th one, and I was there in the 150th one. But I didn't have to march in the 150th one. I got a seat at the town hall. I was invited to sit there. So they must have thought I was getting a bit old or something. But they said being the double one, so I was there for the two occasions. Yes. I never ever set out for that achievement. I came to work and I did my work, and I liked it, and I had a supportive family. The wife and I have two girls, and they were always been supportive of what I have, and without them I couldn't have done it. Look, I think the greatest thing that's changed is definitely technology. When I first started, we had the old typewriter system. You had to type on the typewriter system. I've seen it go right through now the computer systems. I've seen all the technologies through radio, motor vehicles, and such, and all the new devices that, well, a lot of the devices that aid in crime detection. And it's been amazing, really, over that number of years, how much we have developed in that technology area. I always think you've got to have an open mind as a police officer, and you treat people how you find them. And as I said, there's a lot more good people than the people who want to go and commit offences. And I've always found you treat people as good people until you find otherwise, and you have to take some action, or you have to do something relative to where they've committed offences. So you need people in the police force who are streetwise, who can get out in the street and talk to people, and talk to the people on their level. And that only comes through a lot of education in the job. You learn a lot in the job, but I knew what was to be expected. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that I was going to see a lot of things that a lot of other people wouldn't see. And so it didn't come as a big shock to me. Sure, a lot of people joining the job now have got to expect that they're going to do things that the normal people who go to work each day and sit in an office don't do. They're going to be there, they're going to be the first response to bad incidents, and they're going to be, as I said, they're going to see the good times. Generally, in a way, I think they're very lucky, because they see more of life than a lot of other people will ever see or think about. Well, look, I'd say if you want to join the police force and you'd like it and you go into that capacity, that type of occupation, don't hesitate. Go and join the job. You'll enjoy it, and you'll see, you'll be very much educated in life. Sure, you'll have your good times, but you'll not say good times, meaning you'll see a lot of things that the ordinary people don't see. I've seen, I remember I worked with a fellow by the name of Sergeant Riley and McDermott. I was there and attended the day that they got shot and killed, and I always remember those things. They're the things that it happens to a police officer, and you've got to be prepared for those things. But there's also the good times, and there's a lot more good times, and you work with some good people. Great, great, and great. Look, it's what you make it, and as I said, you work with some fine people. You meet a lot of people in the community. I met my wife at. I took a gentleman in there for some medical attention once that we'd arrested, and she was a nursing sister there at the hospital, and I met her there through the job, really. And I met another fellow there that just started his internship, a doctor, and now he's a professor of medicine, and we've been friends for 50 years. So you meet a lot of fine people through this job. I recommend it to anyone that wants to join it. I've tried to keep an open mind in the job, and I've tried to look. As I said, I've seen the good parts, and I've seen the bad parts. So I've had to do a lot of things that I've seen the sorrows and death messages and all that type of thing, and I've seen how people are affected by it, and that's any police officer will tell you the same. It certainly has some effect on you, and there's a lot of things I don't want to remember or try not to remember, but there's the good times, and you've got to start thinking about the good times. Every good thing comes to an end, and it had to happen one day, and that's got to happen to everyone. So yes, I'll be sad about leaving, walking out and leaving the police force, but we'll get over it, and we'll have a look what else is around the corner. I don't want to just go home and get in a rocking chair at this stage.
I guess, look, from my perspective, I am proud to be here today, 61 years on the front line. It is amazing in itself, and for you to finish, I think, the last 20 years in the transport branch. But what I was blown away was that your last arrest was 3 years ago, which was
3 or 4 years.
Which is super impressive. And I started to go back through my mind in terms of my last arrest, and it was a lot longer than that, I'd tell you that. So look, from my perspective, is that how do you thank someone who's given up 61 years of their life to protect the people of New South Wales? And I guess all we can do is come together to thank you for that. And for your lovely wife and family being here today. It's so nice for a commissioner to give back a police employee who is so happy and is looking forward to the next phase of his life. So thank you for loaning us and the people of New South Wales this amazing police officer, thoroughly decent man. And we wish you all well in the next phase of retirement.
You know, I had the good fortune, you know, of being in the police force, and I've been in, well, over 50 years. I shouldn't admit that, it shows age now. and I've seen a lot of changes in the police over the years, particularly in the technology area. Police, really, their traits have got to be the same and have been right through. Their loyalty, comradeship, community awareness remains in a lot of the police since I joined to what it is today, you know. But look, I thank you all for coming here today, and I do appreciate it. But I wish you all the best of luck in the future, the police force, and it's been good to me, and I hope it's good to you.
Good on you, mate. That's well done. I'm going to give you a certificate of service. Normally they take a little bit of time, but Mr. Dengate got this rushed through for you to make sure we gave that to you. I know it's not officially your last day, but no, in a sense that we wanted to give you something small to take away today.